To our second special story of the night, finding affordable and suitable accommodation in Akure, that's the Ondo State capital, has become a daily struggle for many residents as rising rent and population growth tighten the housing market. In this special report, senior reporter Ayodele Moradeo takes a look at the rising cost of accommodation and what people go through to find shelter.
According to the 2006 National Population Census, Akure had an estimated population of 370,000 people. But with Ondo State playing host to civil servants, students and migrants from other states, experts estimate the figure has nearly doubled to about 700,000 and 800,000 people in less than 2 decades. With more people trooping into Akure, demand for housing has far outweighed supply. The search for accommodation by many has become a nightmare, depending on the area of choice. Investigation shows that a 3-bedroom flat in prime areas such as Ijapo, Alagbaka and Obaile now goes for between 600,000 and 1.2 million naira per annum. Getting a 2-bedroom apartment in these areas is also scarce and expensive, going for between 400,000 naira and 1 million naira, depending on the location. A self-contained room in these areas is given out at the rate of 300,000 naira and above. Even outside these choice areas, a self-contained room attracts between 150,000 and 250,000 naira, a sharp rise compared to the 70,000 naira and 100,000 naira range just 3 years ago. To compound the crisis, property agents are cashing in. They charge exorbitant commissions, which also depend on the bargaining power of desperate house hunters.
Those people, they are called them, they are caretaker. I will advise people that have they should counsel them. Because my house, I'm living before, I rent the house 100,000 naira, but now my house is 350. The person that have the house, the man is collecting 150,000 naira. The caretaker is collecting 150,000 naira. Now,
my problem is now the money where they call for the house rent. Because before you go collect house now, they will tell you go pay agent's fee. And the house, some house, where they will carry you go that place, must go see the house, no be house where you go even like, and your money where you don't pay them, you no go see the money back again. They will carry you go to another location, see they will find you another house, and they will carry you go that place. Now the same story, they will still give you.
The situation of this country now is something that very, very hard. We that are paying house rent. Even my landlord last time he came that we increase the house rent. Even the one we expect, I was even surprised. So I called him and told him this money that I see now, not everybody can afford it.
I have somebody, I say my daughter at university, the house rent is there. It's too much. It's because he got the place through agent people.
Successive governments in Ondo State have attempted to intervene through housing policies, but these efforts have not met the growing housing needs of the people. Some administrations have partnered with private firms to build estates, but most of the units were priced beyond the reach of average workers, leaving many of them abandoned. Today, the Lucky Aiyedatiwa administration says it is working on new low-cost housing schemes to ease the pressure. The State Commissioner for Information, Dewa Janaku, speaks on what the government is doing to address the situation.
Is to make sure that there's a conducive atmosphere for people to come and partner with us in those areas. We don't need to build a house that many people will not be able to afford. Not only that, this government is also partnering with the House Renew Hope agenda of the housing program of the federal government that the president is initiating in Abuja, and very soon the FHA, Federal Housing Authority, will be in Ondo State to come and look at certain areas where they can get land and build, mass housing. in different parts of the state. Sooner or later, you will see that area, that housing issue, will gradually be resolved.
An investor and business developer, Femi Meshe, believes the situation is not peculiar to Akure City alone, but part of a national housing challenge.
It's even worldwide. Accommodation is very expensive these days. Go to major cities worldwide, accommodation is very expensive, very pricey. So it's not only Akure. But for Akure, I'm sure the government, they have plans to increase the housing, accommodation, and properties, affordable properties in Ondo State. It might not happen tomorrow. It takes a while.
Nigeria currently has a housing deficit estimated between 17 and 28 million units, according to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and the World Bank. Bridging this gap would require at least 21 trillion in investment. Although the government idea is noble, many residents are still forced to move in droves to neighboring communities such as Iguba, Oda, Ipisha, and Aule, where rent is only marginally cheaper. In Oda town, just 12 minutes from Akure, a single room and suite goes for 150,000 naira to 200,000 naira per year, almost the same rate as in the capital city. This man, a resident of Oda, says he moved out of Akure, open to court calls, but rent prices remain a heavy burden.
Let me say my 2-bedroom apartment was 150k. But starting from last year, we realized that the rent has escalated up to from 150k down to some prices that were like 400k, some 500k, and it's very, very hard for the people to afford, to call the government into the matter, to look into the matters.
He is not the only one found in this quagmire. Many tenants are caught in this web, laboring to get suitable accommodations.
The existing housing stock in Ondo State, the agents, the landlord, they are now taking over, making life difficult for the average home seeker.
Accommodation is so high now, very, very in the high side. So, but with agents fee and also, because even what we are going to call them now, agents, and they are not really helping matters at all. Because when we now know about the house rent price, we now know that the agent's fee price is in the very high side, more than almost getting to the price of the house.
If you want to collect what they call self-con, they will charge you 300. The worst part of it is agent issue. If they want to give you house, what they will charge is even up to half of what the landlord will collect.
Employ the government to help us in building housing scheme for people so that they can be rent the place at a cheaper rate.
How can accommodation, a 2-bedroom apartment will be costing 700,000, 800,000 naira in this area? So far, we only depend on the state. As we all know that this is a civil service state.
The government is aware of this and says it is partnering with private and federal agencies to address the situation.
There are different laws in other states that deal with all this child lock. I think a bill is being looked into now, to regulate the activities of landlord and agents in Ondo State in order to make life more meaningful and more meaningful for the people of Ondo State, especially in the area of housing.
Bengadine, an architect, sheds more light on this issue and also offers solutions.
Cost of building materials. The reality of it is, few years ago, a lot of us are aware that they sell a bag of cement for about 1,500. The reality of Nigeria today, we are buying a bag of cement for about 10,000 plus, depending on the brand of cement that you are buying. Another factor that is making accommodation, terrible is the fact that there are bodies that are not regulated. You see a situation that, house rent 250, total package 380,000 naira. How? So we need government to actually regulate some of these bodies.
Many residents of Akure want the state government to address the housing deficit by creating new housing estates to cater for their housing needs. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News, Akure.